Hey everybody, this is JP Hunt with InkSoft, and in this video I want to give you a quick introduction to InkSoft Proposals. Now, InkSoft Proposals is the technology in InkSoft that you'll use to quickly create gorgeous online quotes, invoices, and even sales presentations. Now, it all begins with the Proposals workspace, which you see on the screen now. So this is a quick and easy tool to use to manage all of your quotes, invoices, and presentations. So here I can search and I can use the filter controls to quickly find the right customer and the right invoice to take action against. Now, we also help you to organize your sales pipeline with these three easy to understand columns. So the first one is new. So if you're creating something and you're managing that and you're kind of working through it, but you haven't sent it to a customer, well, think of all of your draft quotes, invoices, and sales presentations living in this new column. Now, as soon as you send it to the customer, it's going to move to in progress. And in progress is an easy way to manage those activities that are currently in progress. So maybe you're waiting for customers to comment, approve, make payment, pay deposits. All of those activities can be managed here in the in progress state. Done, that means the client's taken the action that you've wanted, whether that's approval, paying deposits, paying in full. So that's your indication that the client has taken the actions that are necessary so you can move things along in production. Now, what we're going to do is jump to sort of the workspace that you'll use to create quotes, invoices, and sales presentations. So really simple way to add customers. So here we have a simple way to quickly add or create a new customer to manage that customer relationship. And then here you can put in all the key information, the name of the proposal. You can, of course, indicate the enhanced date, the expiration date, taxation logic, payment and shipping logic, and that can vary customer by customer. So that said, once you've organized all that key information, now comes the fun part, and really the part that makes InkSoft Proposals so amazing. These are the tools that you can use to quickly add all of the different logoized and branded merchandise products that you want to present to a customer. Now, I want to point out that this is one workspace where you'll create all of the products, and then you can choose how to send that to your customer. So you can choose to organize products that you think would be great for a client, and you can choose to send as a quote, or send as an invoice, or my favorite part is send as an approval, which really acts more of a sales presentation. So this is great if you're working with a brand new customer, they're prospective, they haven't committed to you yet, and you're putting ideas in front of them. That's the right workflow to use. So no matter what you're doing, you have one central workspace to manage and create all of the branded merchandise you want to showcase to your client. Now let's talk about those tools for a moment. So you'll see here there's a blue plus icon at the very bottom right. And here, when I select that, I have a number of tools. I can add products. So here we have a workflow that lets you add existing products. This is great if you're using InkSoft online stores and maybe you're selling those products through a store, but the client wants to order some of the products separately. This is a quick way to take action on any products you've ever created or added to InkSoft. So think about all those times where you're doing things like reordering, right? Your client's placing a reorder. You can quickly leverage a database of products that are already in service. Now, this will also introduce the rapid product creator workflow that's going to help you quickly create product mockups. So you can, of course, upload embroidery files, vector files, raster files, and you can manage different colorways of the logos and then assign those to different products to rapidly create product presentations. You can also upload artwork. So this will serve as an art approval workflow if you just want to add art and send it to the client. You can also take advantage of reusable services. This is a handy way to monetize all of those services and think of things like kitting or finishings. This is a great way to create a library of different services that you can use to monetize all those different activities in your business, whether it be graphics design, whether it be installation. Very flexible way to add different services and then select from those services. Now, the other thing that you can do with InkSoft Proposals, one of my favorite things, is the ability to create custom line items. So if you're creating these sort of quick, one-off items, you can do that by clicking the ability to add a custom line item. And here you can drag and drop product photography, give it a name, add all the quantities and size, weight breakdown, and quickly create those items to then send to a customer for approval or for payment. Now, the last option here is the ability to create a section. And so you'll notice here, I've created this little draft for this video. Here I've organized apparel items. So here we have a heading item that says apparel, and I've logically organized all the apparel items. But I've created another section to delineate maybe office gear or maybe signage or other items. So this is your opportunity to really structure and present products in a logical way and group them together. So when the customer receives these, it's very clear. So really quick way to, again, add products to a presentation. And we've talked about the ability to then send that to the customer. So by clicking Send Proposal, you can choose the way in which you want to present this particular product mix to your clients. So in some occasions, if you're dealing with a school, you have to send it as a quote in order to move along in the purchase order process, right? So again, you can see the right tools here to send the right presentation to the client. So let's take a look at what those presentations look like. So let's jump to another tab here. So here's an example of the sales presentation, the approval. So when the client receives the email from you and they click, this is their very first interaction. This acts as sort of like a mini landing page, a mini website is a good way to think of it. It's branded to your business. It has some visual interest integrated into it. So this certainly looks a lot better than an attachment, which most of your competition is doing, attaching either a PDF or a traditional invoice that doesn't have much visual value to it. So when I click View Proposal, InkSoft Proposals will then present all of the products that you've organized so the customer can see a better and a higher fidelity view of those products. So if I click View Details, that will take me into a view where I can now sort of hover my mouse and get a magnified view of the imprint. So if you're doing like left chest embroidery, the client can see all the detail and appreciate the product you've organized. And of course, there it breaks down the quantity and the price. You can add notes, so you can do quick call outs and point out maybe why you've selected that product or talk about the decoration for that particular product. But what's really important here is the ability for your client to communicate with you. So notice here there's a chat function. So a customer has the ability to add a comment, and that will alert your team so you can take immediate action and respond. Your response will post right here. So think about all those times that you go back and forth through text or through email. All of that communication is now centralized right where the client needs it to be centralized, right on their branded merchandise sort of campaign. Now, if the client prefers to call or email, they have those options here at the very top as well. Probably the most important thing is, of course, the pay and approve workflow. So the client can click Pay and Approve, and as the name indicates, here they can make payment and do a formal approval so you can move along in the production process. Now let's contrast that with a quote or an invoice. A quote and an invoice is going to look exactly the same. It's an online, mobile responsive presentation of those products. So the product information is exactly the same. It just doesn't have that same sales presentation. So if I'm going to do a reorder for a client, I don't need to do a sales presentation. I just need to get approval and payment because they've asked to place a reorder. So in that case, an invoice would be the appropriate presentation layer. So the data may be the same, but it's all about presentation. And that brings me to the conclusion of this technology. InkSoft has virtually since day one offered quoting and invoicing as part of our technology. We went back to the drawing board and asked the question, what's it going to take for a decorator, promotional product distributor to be successful and outcompete those that they're contending against? And the answer was you have to be the fastest to respond to a customer's need with the very best presentation. And that's why we've put so much effort into InkSoft Proposals, was to help you to quickly create quotes, invoices, do manual order entry, and create those sales presentations quickly. And of course, provide the best possible presentation when your customer is viewing that. So for legitimacy purposes, of course, it makes a large statement, the delivery and presentation method. So you can be assured that you will outperform your competition by having the very best presentation style and layer. So that said, if you have any questions about how to take full advantage of InkSoft Proposals, if you want to know more, our team is on standby to share and to do some training with you. So by all means, reach out to us. We'd love to share more insights into how you can take full advantage of InkSoft Proposals.